Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos refuse to ever sleep in separate beds. That's why you get married. In the sprawling, high-ceilinged master suite of their Manhattan townhouse, Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos are engaged in a nightly ritual that has remained unchanged for nearly 3 decades. It involves a specific choreography of fluffing pillows, a brief debate over the thermostat, and a firm, unspoken rule that has become the bedrock of their high-profile marriage: the no separation clause. For the hosts of Live with Kelly and Mark, the concept of a sleep divorce, the trendy modern practice where couples retreat to separate bedrooms for a better night's rest, isn't just a foreign concept, it's an impossibility. I don't care if the house is on fire, if he's snoring like a chainsaw, or if I've spent the last 4 hours kicking him in my sleep, Kelly says, her signature wit gleaming as she adjusts the duvet. We are in that bed together. That is the whole point. That's why you get married. The theology of the shared mattress. To Kelly and Mark, the bed isn't just a piece of furniture for REM cycle optimization. It is the headquarters of their partnership. In an industry where marriages often have the shelf life of an open carton of milk, the Consuelos household views the shared bed as a sacred space for recalibration. Mark, leaning against the doorframe with the relaxed confidence of a man who has spent 28 years being one half of America's couple, nods in agreement. There's a psychological tethering that happens, he explains. When you spend your day being pulled in 1,000 different directions, scripts, meetings, live television, kids, the bed is the only place where the world stops. If you start sleeping in different rooms, you're basically just roommates with a shared checking account. For Kelly, the logic is even more practical. Why would I want to be alone? She asks. I spent my 20s auditioning for roles. I don't need to audition for a spot in my own bed. If I'm mad at him, I want to be close enough to poke him. If I'm happy, I want to be close enough to hold his hand. Separating during the most vulnerable hours of the day, that's how the distance starts. Combating the sleep divorce trend. The sleep divorce has gained traction among celebrities and suburbanites alike, cited as a cure for everything from sleep apnea to conflicting schedules. But the Consuelos Ripa household views it as a slippery slope. I hear people say, "Oh, we sleep better apart," Kelly says, rolling her eyes playfully. Well, sure, and I'd probably eat more vegetables if someone fed them to me, but that doesn't mean it's good for the soul. Marriage isn't about being comfortable 100% of the time. It's about navigating the snoring, the stolen covers, and the cold feet together. Their philosophy is built on a few core pillars. The 24-hour reset. No matter how heated a daytime argument might be, the physical proximity of sharing a bed forces a resolution, or at least a truce. The morning download. The 15 minutes between the alarm going off and the feet hitting the floor are, according to Mark, the most productive minutes of the day. It's where they vent, laugh, and prepare for the live broadcast. The identity factor. We are Kelly and Mark, she says, not Kelly in Suite A and Mark in Suite B. The reality of the two-body system. Of course, sleeping in the same bed for 3 decades isn't without its logistical challenges. Mark is a radiator, emitting enough body heat to power a small village, while Kelly prefers the room to be a meat locker temperature. She wants it so cold I can see my breath, Mark laughs. I'm under 3 blankets and she's got a fan pointed directly at her face. But you adapt. You find the middle ground. Usually that middle ground is me freezing while she sleeps like a baby, but that's the price of love. They've navigated the kids' years, where their 3 children, Michael, Lola, and Joaquin, would occasionally try to breach the perimeter. Even then, the couple maintained their territory. The kids knew, Kelly says. Mom and Dad's bed is Mom and Dad's bed. It's the fortress. If they had a nightmare, they could come in for a minute, but we always prioritized our space as a couple. Why that's why you get married matters. The phrase, "that's why you get married," has become a bit of a mantra for the pair. In an era of hyper-independence, Kelly and Mark are unapologetic about their codependence. They do the show together, they work out together, and they most certainly sleep together. People look for reasons to drift apart, Mark says seriously. They look for me time and space. We've always looked for reasons to be closer. If you can survive a night with someone who steals the blankets and talks in their sleep, you can survive a Tuesday afternoon meeting about life insurance. It builds a callus of endurance that you need for the long haul. Kelly adds, there is a profound intimacy in the silence of a shared room. It's the one place where we aren't on. We aren't performing. We're just two people who decided a long time ago that there was no one else we'd rather wake up next to, even if he did kick me at 3:00 a.m. The legacy of the shared pillow. As they move into their next chapter, empty nesters who are now professional co-stars, the shared bed has become even more important. It serves as the green room for their lives. When asked if they would ever consider a trial run of separate rooms for the sake of better sleep hygiene, Kelly's response is immediate and quintessential Ripa. Only if the other person is in a different zip code for work, and even then, I'm stymieing him from under the covers. If I wanted a room to myself, I would have stayed in my studio apartment in 1994. I chose the big life, the messy life, and the his elbow in my ribs life. That's the contract. That's the joy. Tips from the Consuelos bedding playbook. For couples struggling to stay in the same zip code, let alone the same mattress, Kelly and Mark offer a few bits of hard-won wisdom. The challenge the Consuelos solution temperature wars dual zone climate control or separate weight duvets. The Snorer firm nudge and occasionally a very expensive white noise machine. Conflicting schedules the early bird. Mark learns to creep out like a ninja so the night owl. Kelly can rest. The argument never go to bed angry. No, go to bed angry but go to bed together. Proximity usually fixes the anger by morning. As the lights go down in their Manhattan home, the message is clear. Trends may come and go, and sleep divorces may be the talk of the morning show circuit, but Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos are staying put. In 30 years, Kelly concludes, I've never woken up and thought, I wish he wasn't there. Tired, maybe, annoyed, sometimes, but lonely, never, and that's why you get married.